What is up, Insaners, and welcome to our double Game Week 19 preview video. In today's video, we'll be talking about our final team for Game Week 19 along with some good captaincy options. We'll also be reviewing our Game Week 18 score and touch upon the blank Game Week fixtures that took place over the week. These Game Week preview videos are going to be a regular feature from now on, so do look out for these on a weekly basis. If you like today's video, do give it a thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. We'll be covering a lot more FPL stuff, so if you're interested, do subscribe to our channel Insanely Football. We have a playlist dedicated to the Fantasy Premier League. Make sure you check that out as well. Also hit the bell icon to get notifications of our coming videos. Now coming to our Game Week 18 score, we got 57 points with a decent green arrow. Our rank also improved from 360,000 to within 250k. We are hanging around the top 3% of the world, so overall pretty happy with that. Starting with the first fixture, Sheffield United versus Newcastle. Sheffield were looking for their first win and they finally got it. Newcastle were pretty average in the first half, and then Ryan Fraser was sent off just before the half time after he picked up 2 bookings in 3 minutes. With a little over 15 minutes remaining, the Blades were given a penalty when Federico Fernandez handled the ball and Billy Sharp scored the only goal of the game. We had Callum Wilson and he absolutely didn't do anything. A bit unfair, especially when Newcastle were down to 10 men, but still a disappointing performance from him. The second game was Burnley against Man United. Man United won the game 1-0, courtesy of a Paul Pogba second half volley. This now means Man United are top of the Premier League table, 3 points clear of Liverpool, and with both sides facing each other in the next game, it couldn't have come at a better time. Our earlier free hit draft also had Rashford, and we would have gained 4 more points if we would have played him instead of Lacazette after he provided the assist for the Paul Pogba goal. Burnley tried but couldn't do much. They didn't even have a single shot on target, so that says a lot about their performance. Some would say United got a bit lucky, with Luke Shaw only getting a yellow card instead of a red. To make things even, Harry Maguire's header which went in was ruled out for a foul on Eric Peters. Bruno Fernandes had a quiet game and he was taken off in the 88th minute by Solskjaer. This was his only blank in his last 5 games. More importantly, he got his 4th yellow card of the season and now he's just 1 away from a suspension. Hopefully he gets through the Liverpool game without getting one. We also had David De Gea from this game, who didn't have much to do and secured an easy clean sheet, getting 6 points. Coming to the next game, Man City versus Brighton. This was a huge game for us with City triple up and doubling in defense. In terms of defense, John Stones and Joao Cancelo got a clean sheet, having more than decent games and both just missing out on bonus points, with Diaz getting the last one. This was City's 8th clean sheet in the Premier League and they have only conceded 13 goals this season, fewest in the league so far. Kevin De Bruyne was the biggest bet this week, having a captain's armband, and to be honest, it was a bit disappointing. He could only manage 1 assist in the whole game, not what we were expecting going into the blank game week. It could have been a much greater haul, close to probably around 10 to 11 points. Was really shocked to see KDB not taking it in the first place. Brighton did well to restrict City to a 1-0, but didn't have the quality in the final third to threaten City's goal. The last 2 games were Tottenham playing Fulham in a London derby and Arsenal facing Crystal Palace at the Emirates. Spurs had some decent chances but could only manage a 1-1 draw, with Harry Kane's brilliant diving header cancelled by Cavallero's late header. This was Fulham's 5th consecutive draw, and slowly but surely, Scott Parker's side are moving in the right direction. They didn't have much time to prepare for this game and were only given a couple of days notice after Spurs' game against Aston Villa got cancelled. Kane gave us a decent return with 8 points and probably would have been a better captaincy shout than KDB. Son missed out in this one. He had a couple of decent chances and saw one of his efforts come off the post. Overall, he couldn't convert and recorded his 3rd blank in 4 games. Now the final game of the blank game week was Arsenal playing Palace at home. There were a lot of expectations going into this game with a triple up on Arsenal. Things went off to a bad start with Kieran Tierney getting rested for the game. The Scotland international complained of some discomfort ahead of the game and Arteta didn't take any chances with him. Maitland-Niles played as Arsenal left back and was pretty bad to say the least. Arsenal had a lot of the ball in the opening minutes. For a short while it looked promising, but their final delivery lacked quality and surely they missed Tierney. Saka put in a lot of dangerous crosses, but Lacazette couldn't get on the end of anything, meaning blanks for both players. The game ended in a 0-0 draw, a frustrating game to watch especially if you were an Arsenal fan. It wasn't the performance or the result that the Gunners were hoping for. The only good thing about the result was probably the clean sheet that we missed on. We somehow escaped all this chaos with Mitchell from Crystal Palace getting a clean sheet and a surprising 2 bonus points. We would have taken it any day before the game week. So overall a decent week, moving about 100,000 places in the right direction. It could have been a lot more if a couple of premiums wouldn't have blanked, but we'll take this and move on. Now coming to our team for Game Week 19, we've locked in our team and made a major decision on playing another chip this week. We've gone ahead and activated the bench boost chip for now. In goal, we have Martinez from Aston Villa. He's been the best goalkeeper in the league so far in terms of FPL points, in spite of playing a couple of games less than the teams around him. Even with the lack of information around Aston Villa's fixtures with Man City and Newcastle, he still want to hold as Villa has a good run of fixtures after the double game week and he can be a good set and forget option till game week 30. Hopefully by then Villa would have had their fixtures rearranged and there are a couple of double game weeks in the mix for them. Some alternate options for this week can be Fabianski, who has a good double game week playing Burnley and West Brom. Surely there are some decent points available for the West Ham keeper there. Mendy from Chelsea is also in a similar price range and can be a decent option if you either don't have a Chelsea defender or you want to double up on the Chelsea defense. Mendy has kept only 1 clean sheet in his last 7 games, having kept 5 in the 6 matches prior to that, but still can prove to be a high value pick this week. Chelsea also has some decent fixtures after the double game week, so a move to Mendy could be a good one. Coming to our defense, we have 3 out of 5 defenders who have a double game week. The cancellation on the Leeds Southampton game hit us badly, especially as we were preparing a triple up on them for this double game week. The game could still happen though, after some rumours coming in that Southampton's game against Shrewsbury Town might get called off again, and Leeds United game would then be put back in the mix. From now, Dallas from Leeds is just playing 1 fixture. They play Brighton at home this week. They are a team who can score against anyone. Not sure whether they will be able to keep a clean sheet against Brighton, but Dallas has more than decent attacking numbers, so worth taking the risk this week. Our other single game week defender is Eric Dyer. We want to move him out this week, but because of our already planned transfer moves this week and the extra money that we've had to sacrifice meant that we could not make this transfer. A possible move for Dyer is probably shifting to a Reece James in the future once we're confident that the Chelsea team looks good for clean sheets. James, with his attacking potentials, can really help us do wonders. Coming to a trio of double game week defenders, we are playing with James Justin from Leicester City. Not the best double game week fixtures facing Southampton and Chelsea at home, but the versatile defender can play in a number of positions in defense for Brendan Rodgers. He scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists so far this season. Leicester have kept 5 clean sheets and that number should go up considering that they have some favourable fixtures coming after the double game week. We also have John Stones and he was one of our early punts this season. We got him quite early in the game and he, along with Dyers, has been solid in the Man City defense. They both have formed a great partnership at the back, securing 6 clean sheets in the 7 games they've played together. Ruben Dias is probably just a bit more nailed on than Stones, but considering the budget and our team value, Stones is what we can go for. You can surely look at getting Diaz for this double game week, as City have the best fixtures of the lot, facing Crystal Palace and Aston Villa at home. Our final defender is Soufal, who we've transferred in this week. Andrew Robertson had a double game week, but there was just too much value attached to him, and spreading that money has helped us get a better team. Soufal shares the set pieces with Cresswell, has a good attacking potential, and can be a great pick this week. He's more of a differential pick when compared to Aaron Cresswell, also around 0.6 to 0.7 million cheaper. Surely one to look at for this week. We've gone ahead and made a couple of changes in our midfield as well. We managed to go ahead with the popular trio of Mohamed Salah, Bruno Fernandes, and Kevin De Bruyne. It's a bit scary not to have them in your team right now, with all of them having a double game week. There are a few things to note though. Bruno Fernandes is on 4 yellow cards and he can get suspended for the Fulham game if he gets one against Liverpool. In spite of that, he still has just a little over 50% ownership. If there's one man who's capable of breaking Liverpool's unbeaten home run of 67 games, that is Bruno Fernandes. His away form has been impressive and he scored a total of 11 goals and 8 assists. He's also got 8 double-digit hauls, out of which 5 of those have been in away games. A definite must-have for this double game week. Pep in his post-match comments said that KDB looked a bit tired and he might decide to rest him for a game or even manage his minutes. He's put in 15 crosses in the last 4 game weeks along with creating 8 chances for his City teammates. He's just behind Bruno Fernandes in terms of expected goal involvement for the last 4 game weeks. He's on corners, free kicks and penalties. A complete player, and with his 2 fixtures against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, another must-have player for this week. Mohamed Salah is the final player in this trio. He's blanked in the last 3 games against West Brom, Newcastle and Southampton, but a couple of home games and a chance to go top of the league when he plays Man United this weekend is enough motivation for Salah to score more goals. He has been great this season, already scoring 13 goals and assisting 4 so far, making him a better captaincy pick this week along with Kevin De Bruyne among the premium options. The benefit of having all 3 is huge and also sets up your team nicely for the coming game weeks. He's possibly the best value option in the game. The Czech international has scored some crucial goals for Hammers, netting 4 goals in his last 7 games. He's also one of the most bought players this week. Considering his value, which is only 5.3 million, it is easy to bench him in your squad. You can also upgrade him later to an El Ghazi or even a Phil Foden. You can downgrade him as well to a Smith Rowe from Arsenal, and there are a few like-to-like replacements in Saka, Rafinha and Lookman. He's also a great option as a 5th midfielder in case you're going for 4 premiums across the middle. Our bench option this week is going to be Rafinha. He's looked good this season, getting 2 goals and 2 assists in the 9 games that he started for Leeds United. Now, Bielsa has a certain philosophy ingrained in the Leeds players, which is to run and attack. We don't see that changing anytime soon. It would have been perfect if he had the double game week, but even the single matchup against Brighton looks promising for the Leeds midfielder. He's surely not someone who you would get in your team for this week as a transfer, but he can definitely stay as a bench option depending on whether you're playing the bench boost chip or not. Coming to our forwards, we've not made any changes this week. None of our forwards have a double game week. Kane is facing Sheffield United, who have improved lately but are still bottom of the league. Bamford is playing Brighton. Surely he'll get some chances in that game, and scoring a goal or even a brace is something totally achievable. Che Adams is a tricky one. We would have surely sold him if there weren't any other changes or fixes to look into, but because we've already done a couple of transfers, taking more hits might not be worth it, especially with not a lot of other superior options in attack. A lot of FPL managers are jumping onto the Antonio ship from West Ham. It could be a great move as he's reaching full fitness, and West Ham don't really have a lot of options in attack. The question here is that Antonio is still not fully fit and he might not start or finish both games. David Moyes might manage his minutes. There's a certain degree of risk probably not taking him this week, but we'll have to take some hard calls here. Another decent option is Timo Werner from Chelsea. He's an assured starter, but his numbers haven't looked great this season. Werner has not scored in the last 9 game weeks and has provided only 3 assists in the same duration. His price is also a bit higher, so it won't be possible for us to get him in our team, as we'll have to ship out Harry Kane, and having no Tottenham players for the game against Sheffield United might be a risky move. He's still worthy of a punt though, especially with Chelsea having a double game week. In terms of our transfers this week, we've transferred out Son. He has a single game week, and we feel there are better premium options available, especially KDB, who's too good to be ignored this week. Having said that, we still have a plan of getting Son back in our team. We're looking at the West Ham game after they would have played Man City in Game Week 24. Obviously, to get the additional money for KDB, we also had to downgrade Andrew Robertson. Bissouma on our bench was not the best option, especially considering that we were thinking of playing the bench boost this week. In terms of transfers in our squad, we've gotten Kevin De Bruyne from Man City, an absolute no-brainer there. The second transfer is Soufal from West Ham. We could have gotten Aaron Cresswell instead, but Bissouma also had to be upgraded and we needed some money there. Thomas Soucek is a suitable replacement, slotting directly in our starting lineup. So that's our third transfer for this week. With only one transfer available to start off, that means a 2 points hit, or in other words, a -8. We feel if the KDB move comes off, along with Soucek returning even if it's in a single game, probably a couple of clean sheets for Soufal, we should be in for a score more than 100 for sure. Now coming to captaincy options, there are obviously 3 standout picks in Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes and Mohamed Salah. All 3 are decent picks here, with KDB having a bit of form and the best set of fixtures. Mohamed Salah on the other hand has had the rest for the Liverpool double. It'll be a very close call, but fancy KDB just by a little bit. Bruno Fernandes is the least favourable option of the lot, with that yellow card note hanging on his head. We really don't want him to miss the easier fixture of the 2 against Fulham. In some alternate options, we've got Jamie Vardy from Leicester City. The striker's having a decent season, having scored 11 goals already. The last 5 games have been particularly tricky, where he's scored only 1 goal, but he still has the quality to score against any opposition, especially the top sides in the Premier League. The slight worry with him would be whether he's going to last 90 minutes for both games. 2 games in such a short span of time might be a bit too much for Jamie Vardy. Mikel Antonio is surely worth trying this week, and if you really want to go differential, why not captain him? He surely proved last season that he can score goals, and he's a very important player for the Hammers. His ownership is also on the rise and is around 7.6 at the time of recording this video. Now captaining him can really shoot you up in the ranks, especially if he can score a couple of goals this week. Another super different option that we have here is Joao Cancelo. Yes, that's right. We have listed a defender as a captaincy option this week. Joao Cancelo has been excellent for Man City this season. A defender who can play on either side, he provides a lot of variety to Pep. Overall, he has been unlucky not to get more attacking returns. City has the best defense in the league this season, so a couple of clean sheets are looking promising. Combine that with a goal or an assist, and they can be huge returns to take advantage of. It's going to be an exciting week. Don't forget to make your transfers before the FPL deadline today. That'll be all for this episode. Lots of matches coming up, and we're looking forward to a great week. Do hit the like button if you found this video useful. Let us know in the comments below what transfer moves you're making this week. How many players do you have in your team who have a double game week? Make sure to subscribe to our channel Insanely Football. Wishing you all the best for this week. Hoping you all will do well. We'll be doing a midweek review video, so do watch out for that. Be safe, and I will see you Insaners next time.